charges the Dalton mayor's top aide is facing, and now he's named in another lawsuit.
He made an appearance earlier today in federal court, and WGN's Jenna Barnes was there and has our story.
When it rains, it pours, and it's pouring in Dalton right now. It's only getting worse. We're seeing all these indictments, lawsuits, and all this stuff is going forward. You're not hearing the super mayor. She's not out there speaking her nonsense on her platforms or anything. She's kind of staying quiet right now, and I think we all know why.
Ray and Micah, Keith Freeman pleaded not guilty today to a charge of bankruptcy fraud. And according to his lawyer, he has no plans to step down from his roles in Dalton and Thornton Township, despite this indictment and a new lawsuit against him and Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
Yeah, I knew that he would plead not guilty to any charges that are coming down the pipeline. There's no doubt about it. But it's going to be interesting what happens with all these indictments and with all this stuff coming down the pipeline, because if he actually gets into depositions, he's going to have to answer some really serious questions, and that's when things are going to get exposed.
And it is something that we will defend not as a political case, but as a bankruptcy case.
The attorney for Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard's top aide, Keith Freeman, refuting that his charge of bankruptcy fraud, to which he pleaded not guilty Wednesday, may be connected to the dysfunction in Dalton. Freeman is a senior administrator for both Dalton and Thornton Township. He was indicted last week, accused of hiding his Dalton income in bankruptcy proceedings, underreporting his income by $95,000 last year.
We've had a couple of questions directed to me about whether or not this indictment means that the government is effectively trying to squeeze Mr. Freeman into cooperation. And I think that question is a question better put to the government, why they would indict someone for bankruptcy fraud, or perhaps we should call it public corruption bankruptcy fraud, which might be a new offense in this building.
Like I said, they are going to be squeezing this guy. They are using him as a tool, because he's the administrator. He's the one that knows the ins and outs of daily. He knows where this money's being spent. He's a big part of it, and he's Super Mayor's right-hand man. Like, legitimately, every time you see them up on the panel, he's sitting right next to her. You know, and the same thing with Andrew Holmes. When all this stuff comes out, there's going to be really tough questions asked at depositions, and yes, they are going to use Keith Freeman as the orange, and they're gonna squeeze every little piece of juice out of him, because this is only the beginning. If the FBI is involved, it's only the beginning.
Freeman's appearance in federal court comes just a day after he was sued alongside Mayor Henyard by a Dalton property owner who says the village unjustly denied him a business license.
When Keith Freeman told me that he's going to give me all the permits and put me in a position where I start working on my property, about time when I met with him again, he told me, "Who are you and do I know you?"
Tyrone Isom tried to open a barber shop and then a pigmentation studio in this space, but he says the building inspector told him Henyard blocked the project. He ended up selling the building to stay afloat financially.
And you have people who are willing to put their money where their mouth is. They'll put their sweat and hard labor and their money into a business, all within the parameters of the law, trying to bring in business into the village of Dalton. And because, for whatever reason, the mayor doesn't want it. And as Tyrone had told you today, he was told at the end, nope, mayor wants that property.
Yeah, that's not the first time we've heard that one either. There's been numerous other businesses, nonprofits that have been denied permitting, this, that, and the third by the mayor. That's why Keith Freeman and Tiffany Henyard are all being sued about this. This is why these things are coming about. And obviously they're actually being able to prove it. So, like I said, it's coming down the pipeline, and good old Super Mayor isn't going to like what's going to happen over the next course of probably the next 2 to 3 months.
He isn't the first. In January, WGN Investigates reported on the thwarted plans to redevelop a shopping center anchored by a ministry-focused food pantry. The owner hoped to add after-school programs and a thrift store, but she says she was told it couldn't move forward without Henyard's approval.
They know that this thrift store would bring in the revenue that we need to keep our programs and services going, and without the permits, without the business license, we're not able to do that.
Just last Friday, the FBI visited Dalton Village Hall to serve 2 subpoenas, one for employment records for more than a dozen employees, the other specifically focused on Keith Freeman.
We're ready to defend with everything we have, anything that comes Mr. Freeman's way.
Yeah, and good luck to you, Mr. Freeman. You're going to need it. I hope that lawyer is really, really good. And once again, you know, you might want to quit. You're in the limelight too much, and whenever it all falls apart, we'll see how it goes for you. But you know the deal. Don't forget, hit that like, share, and that subscribe button, all that good stuff. And I'm out. Soliaker. Deuces.